students, hope you all are safe. Today we are going to start with the poem number 2, that is an elementary school classroom in a slum, written by Stephen Spandler. Stephen Spandler, he was born in 1909 and he was an English poet and an essayist. He left his University College, Oxford, and without achieving any degree, and went to Berlin in 1930. And then he took interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and a pacifist. Now in this poem, an elementary school classroom in a slum, he has concentrated on social injustice and class inequalities. That means how due to the social injustice, the poor people, those who are living in the slum area or in the rural areas, how they are being deprived of the quality education. This we are going to learn in this poem. So I will recite the poem and I will explain the poem. So just get ready with your textbooks. Elementary school classroom in a slum, written by Stephen Spandler. Now children, you all are studying in a school. The school in which you are studying, you are being provided with all kind of facilities, and you are also having a very good building in which you are studying. Means the infrastructure of the school is too luxurious, and all kind of facilities are being provided in the school. But if you have visualized the classroom of a school in a slum area, you can just see the difference between your own classroom or the school or the school which has been developed in a slum area. Now we'll just I'll recite the poem and then I'll explain to you. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down hat, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. His lesson from his desk. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. So the children in the elementary school in a slum, they just look like a rootless weeds, and they seem to be unwanted in the society. Their faces, they are pale, and their untidy hair fall over their faces. There is a tall girl who is sitting with her head down, as she was much sad with the poverty. She was depressed with the poverty or because of some sickness. There was also a thin boy and his eyes were bulging out like a rat because he was malnourished. He was not getting proper diet, and because of the not getting proper nourishment, his eyes had got bulged out like a rat. There was also a boy who had inherited a bone disease from his father, and he looked disfigured. And he sat and recited his lesson as he couldn't stand up. And there was also another boy who was daydreaming, and he was not at all paying attention what was being taught in the class. He just kept on looking about the outdoors where the squirrel was playing in the hollow of a tree. And he wanted to go out, but he couldn't go out as the lessons were going in the class. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's hat, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities, belled flowery, Tirolesi valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, were all their future painted with a fog. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, caps, and stars of words. Now in this stanza, the poet, he has talked about the how the classroom of the school in a slum area appeared, how they looked, how was the classroom of that slum area. The walls of this classroom had sharp color. They were sharp cream color and they were dirty and unpleasant to look at. And all these walls, on these walls, there was a picture of a Shakespeare. There was a painting of a cloudless sky at dawn. Then there was the paintings of the domes of the buildings and also of a beautiful Tyrolese valley that is in Austria. And all these donated pictures, it didn't have any meaning for these children because they were living in that area where they never dreamt of going to these places. There were open-handed maps on the walls. On these walls, there were maps also, but they were useless for these children. Why? Because they didn't show their world. How was their world? Their world was full of depression and sadness, very gloomy, very dark. And this world where it consisted of all these buildings, beautiful valley, it doesn't belong to them. Nothing, they didn't have any connection with them. So all this was, they didn't have any meaning for these children. Their life was uncertain and it didn't have any bright future. The children were doomed to live in the slum under a dark and dull sky. The children, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky means the children, they were forced to live in this slum under a dark and a dull sky. Far, far from rivers, caps and stars of words. The stars of words. That means the beautiful and the natural beauty, it didn't have any kind of relation with these people. Why? Because they were not having any meaning for them. They didn't represent their world. They were living in a gloomy world. And for them, these beautiful places, they know that they were never going to visit these beautiful places. They were not capable enough to move to those places. Okay, so they didn't represent their own world. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map, a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes. From cramped holes. Now cramped holes means narrow holes. Holes here means houses. They were living in a small houses. From fog to endless night, on their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass, like bottle beads on stones. All of the time and space are foggy slum. So plot their maps with slums as big as doom. Now, in this stanza, the poet tells about the children, that how the children of this slum area, they looked, and what was the life, what kind of life they lived. Now the portrait of Shakespeare, then the pictures of the ships, the sun and the maps, they were hanging on the wall. But for these children, all these pictures were meaningless. The classroom provided them no quality education. And with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. That means all this beautiful and the developed world, they were unreal. They just tempted the shapes, this sun, all these things, they were just tempting them. They were knowing that they are not going to get it, but they were just tempting. They were being attracted towards it, and they will try to get it. They will try to steal all these things. That means all the other worldly leisure, we can say luxuries, they will steal because they know that they are not going to get it. For lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, Means they were living in very narrow, very small houses. Holes means houses. From fog to endless night. On that slag heap, these children were skins peeped through by bones. Means the children, they were so thin that the bones were peeping out of the skins. And the spectacles of steel with mended glass. And the spectacles which they were wearing also, they were either mended or they were broken, just like their broken lives. Their lives was, how was their life? Their life was which was not when their desires were not fulfilled. Their lives was like an unfulfilled desire. When their all the desires were not being fulfilled, it was like a broken glass. All of the time and space are foggy slum. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. They wore the handed down and discarded clothes. Whatever means the clothes which they were wearing, they were discarded. Means which were giving or which were used by somebody else and they were being given to them. So they were wearing the discarded clothes of the rich people. The slums needed to be shown on the maps. So blot their maps means these children, those who were living in the slum area, they should be shown on the map so that the other children, the other people, those who were living a luxurious life or living a happy life, they can come to know their condition. So plot their maps with slums as big as do means these people should be brought on the map. They should be shown so that the other people can identify their condition and they could be helpful to them. Unless governor, inspector, visitor. This map becomes their window and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Break, oh break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and grey leaves open. History theirs, whose language is the sun. Now, in this stanza, the poet tells how the condition of this classroom of the slum area can be improved. It can be improved. The miserable condition of the children of the slum area would it would continue or it would not improve until and unless any governor, inspector or any visitor, they came and they made some improvement in the condition of the classroom. The children should not be forced to live in the small caves like the gloomy homes. They shut upon their lives like catacombs. Means they are right now living in the small houses. They are being just locked up there. You just imagine if you are locked up in one of the dark room, how would you feel? Now the children, those who are living here, they are living in such small houses as if though they are small caves. So as if though it's look like they are being locked up in this small caves. So they shut open their lives like catacombs, means small caves. Break, oh, break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and grey leaves open. History theirs whose language is the sun. That means these children, they also should be given the chance to witness, to see the green fields, to see the blue skies and the sandy beaches which are away from this filthy they live in, away from these dirty places where they are living just now. And also they should be shown the warmth and the love, and they should be given the freedom to have quality education like the other children, those who are living in the urban areas. They also should be given equal rights to get proper education, the quality education which is being provided to the children, those who are studying in the urban areas. So this injustice and the class inequalities which are being shown in this poem. This could be improved or this could be justified when the people, those who are living or those who are leading a happy and a good life, if they just identify or they try to improve the condition of these people, they also can live and also a healthy life, and also they can get a quality education. So here we end with the explanation of this poem. I hope you have understood the poem. Now in the next session I'll be just giving out or explaining you the figures of speech which are being used in this poem. So just see that you be ready with that textbook in the next video. Till then, goodbye.